What's up, everybody? There are 8 classic science fiction thriller series available on Tubi. I got 8 classic sci-fi drama series for you on Tubi, like The Twilight Zone and Outer Limits. These series, they range from 1934 to 1976. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen one or two, and they're not bad. They're not bad at all. I'm gonna go chronologically with this, so they are in no particular order. The first series on the list is The Vanishing Shadow from 1934. It's an action-adventure series with science fiction elements. It ranks at a 6.5 on IMDb. I found it interesting that it was from our earliest years of the series on this list, being from 1934. So far, from what I've seen, it has ray guns, robots, an invisibility device used by the hero. And our would-be anti-hero uses an invented death ray that destroys anything that it touches slowly. It is without a doubt one of the earliest adventure series of our time. There are 12 episodes featuring Onslow Stevens as Stanley Stansfield and Ada Ince as his girlfriend Gloria Barnett. So that's one to check out. Moving on to the second series on our list, we have Suspense from 1946. It is listed as a drama mystery thriller. The series features Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi in some episodes. The series features Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi in some of the episodes, so that's pretty monumental. Guess who else is in this? Rod Serling from The Twilight Zone, so it's a must-see. I've seen a couple of episodes, and there are some good theatrical style acting like the others in this review. Suspense gets a 7.7 on IMDb.com. The set design is also on point. Reminds me of the sets on the movie Dr. Calamari. Alright, the next series on the list is Lights Out from 1951. I listed it as a horror mystery sci-fi. This was once an old-time radio program influencing The Twilight Zone and The Outer Limits. Features credits from Ray Bradbury, which has been coming up a lot on the searches for all these series. I haven't gotten a chance to see this yet, but I really want to. The series contains episodes written or influenced by Edgar Allan Poe, who was given series writing credits on its casting crew page. Next on the list is Tales of Tomorrow, 1952. It's listed as a science fiction drama mystery. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have a score or a page for this series, but it gets a 7.2 out of 10. 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Featuring episodes with Leslie Nielsen. It was released in 1952. Tales of Tomorrow is one of the series that also inspired The Twilight Zone, which was first broadcasted in 1959. I've only seen a couple of episodes so far, but it was some computers, mathematical equations. I'm really excited to see this series as I was kind of impressed by what I watched. Next on the list is The Veil, a 1958 horror. It is an anthology of horror stories hosted by the legendary actor Boris Karloff, who is in the series Suspense on the list from earlier. It grabs a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb with no reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Next on the list is One Step Beyond, 1959, a drama horror science fiction. It is an anthology series featuring supernatural stories, some based on real events. I've seen one and it was incredible. Again, proper acting etiquette, great performances. One Step Beyond gets a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. This is the best score on the list so far. Starring John Newland and Robert Douglas. It is created by Werwin Gerard. I want to see more of these. Yeah, I gotta see more of these. That brings us to the year 1963, The Outer Limits, which is not on Tubi, it's on Pluto.tv. And just for your reference, on The Outer Limits, gets an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb and a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes with no audience score. So take that as you will. Outer Limits apparently dominated from 1963 all the way until the year 1971, which brings us to the next series on Tubi. It is Theater Macabre from 1971. It's a horror drama fantasy and is hosted by Christopher Lee. These are adapted from stories by Edgar Allan Poe, Oscar Wilde, Dostoevsky, and more. This series has one season. I thoroughly enjoyed the Edgar Allan Poe episode called System of Dr. Toir and Professor Feather, which gets a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. Unfortunately, Theater Macabre rates for a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb and has no page on the Rotten Tomatoes website. Just to let you know that this episode, this one series, received some significantly low scores on IMDb. The highest rated is a tie for 7.1, which is A Matter of Conscience and Resurrection of the Offhand, which has good costumes. Theater Macabre has half-hour episodes, which gives you more value for your time. The last series on the list is called Thriller from 1976. It is listed as a thriller horror mystery on Tubi. It has a crime and fantasy on IMDb. It has a 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb.com, and that ties it up with One Step Beyond, which also has a 7.8 out of 10. It features Donna Mills and Gary Collins. It is debated that it was a sequel to another series by the same name, which was broadcasted in 1960 and featured the legendary Boris Karloff. So, if you're into something different and you want to see some good scenes, check out these on the list on the Tubi app. Some performances aren't that great, but there are some that are worth your time. On all these series, each series does its job very well. I wish I could put all of these on a playlist with Twilight Zone and Outer Limits and just random the heck out of it. You could probably have 5 channels for all that killer content. So, I've seen One Step Beyond playing on some new streaming app, so it's pretty readily available to the public. I think despite their flaws, these are absolute treasures in television, film production, and acting. You could watch any one of these on any given night of the week. So, no, there you go. If you want to go further down this rabbit hole for drama, thriller, science fiction, you can look into these bonus productions. There's also first bonus production is Way Out, which is on YouTube, except for its best episode. Way Out gets 7.8 out of 10 on IMDb. You might also want to listen to these 3 radio shows that also inspired the Twilight Zone. There was The Weird Circle from 1943 to 45, Dimension X from 1950 to 51, and X-1 from 1958 to 1955 to 1958. Alright, so did I miss any? You let me know in the comments if you found any that I missed. Let me know if you like any of these, what you didn't like. And I'll talk to you all later. See ya.